didn't see either. I got caught up in all this nature and thinking about camping. Now you're probably thinking, camping? That's boring and gross. But really, camping is intense. But really, I've been in the Scouts since the 5th grade, and one weekend every month we go camping and set up tents. So basically, I've set up over 100 tents and become quite the expert in the process. I'm going to show you how to set up a tent perfectly in 4 easy steps. Tents that'll provide you shelter if you ever decide to go camping. Now, location is important with setting up a whoa! Oh! Whoa! This is a hill. We don't want to be setting up our tent on a hill, because if we ever do, we might start falling down into the bottom of our tent if we ever go camping. And also, if we're friends, we'll all get crammed together, and we don't want that. We want a nice flat area so we can all camp and sleep peacefully. Now, whenever I go camping, I like to wear my boots. These boots provide me for a nice rugged terrain, scouting out nice flat area, and maneuverability. Well, looky here, some nice flat area. And some nice flat grass. This looks perfect for setting up tents. Speaking of tents, there are multiple types of tents. You can set up an old style tent, like this one, or a new style tent, like this. For this video, we'll be setting up a tent sort of like this. Now, after finding a perfect location, the next step is foundation. You want to grab your tent and kind of spread it out, get nice and flat on this flat ground we just found. So that way you can see the layout and what you'll be doing in your next couple steps. After you spread your tent around, you want to begin the framing process. Now, framing in this tent, we'll be using 2 poles. These poles will help the tent get set up. Now, I've got a story for you about camping. Back when I was about, we'll say 12, I went camping, and when I got there the first night, it was nice and 70 degrees, and it was beautiful. And we set up our tents perfectly, and we went to bed. And the next morning we woke up and it was cold outside. It was like 30 degrees, and we're like, wow, why is it so cold out here? And we just continued the day, and it kept getting colder and colder and colder, and it started snowing. And by the end of the day, it had snowed 13 inches. But luckily, we set up our tents perfectly, and they withstood the snow. Now, we have our framing set up, our foundation laid out. We're going to begin the setting up process. The wind is blowing over our foundation a little bit, so we're just going to kind of pull it out a little bit more. Now that we have, like I said, our framing set up, we're going to begin laying it down. You want to take your first pole and set it diagonally across the tent. Grab one end of the pole and place it in the key, like this. Perfect. Now next, we're going to go over to the other side, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Take the end of the pole and set it right inside this little key. Now we want to lay it down gently, so that way it doesn't come undone. We have to start the process all over again, so we don't want that. Now we're going to take the other pole and do the exact same thing we did with the first one. Take it, set it out diagonally on the other side of the tent. Begin putting the ends inside the keys. Start on this end. Take the end of the pole, take the key, and put it right in there. Now again, with all the other 3 sides, it's the same thing on the 4th. Nothing different. Take this end of the pole and place it right in the key. Again, lay it down gently so it doesn't come undone. Now we've got the framing all put together. We want to take it and set it up. Nice and slow so it doesn't come undone. We don't want to restart this process. can be quite difficult by yourself. What you want to do next is the fourth and final step of setting up a tent. And coincidentally, it is called the setup step. For this tent, we'll be taking the little clip-ons and attaching them to the tent. Now, there are a lot of clip-ons on this tent, so it may take a little while to do it. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you're ever camping with friends, this could be a quicker process. It can get done easier if you guys know how to set up a tent. Oops. Now, as you will notice, the framing is kind of supporting itself, which makes it very easy on us. So we don't have to worry about holding up the framing and putting together the setup. We're going to finish up this top pull. Now, in some tents, you will have a rain guard, which you put over the top of it to prevent it from getting overflowed water if it rains. But we're not going to put it on this one because, as you can clearly see, it is a beautiful day outside. And in some other tents, you will also put a tarp underneath for the same reason, to keep water from getting underneath or from keeping yourself from getting wet, which we do not want when camping. So there we go. Our tent is all set up with these 4 steps: location, foundation, framing, and setup. You too can set up the perfect tent if you ever decide to go camping and avoid anything that nature has to throw at you.